Hey everybody, how y'all doing this afternoon? I told y'all earlier that I was going to show you, I'm trying to get this camera right. I told y'all earlier I was going to show you how I make my homemade chocolate pie. I did the whipped topping earlier, and so I'm fixing to show you how I do my chocolate pie. So, I've already got, this is my pot, and I'll show you in just a minute. This is my pot that I'm using. This is my good old pot I use for a lot of stuff. My peanut brittle. I used to make my chocolate pie stuff because a lot of times the chocolate at the bottom of the pan, you want you a good, thick, heavy pan for this. And it'll just come right out of this pot when I get through cooking it. But this right here is my sugar bucket. So I'm going to set this right here. This is where I cracked those 2 eggs a while ago. And that's the egg yolks. I don't use them. I save it if somebody wants a meringue pie. But I'm not saving them for this because I'm not making a meringue pie. So I'm just going to show you how I get my egg yolk out. And I hope this thing don't fall all in the floor. And then we're going to have a big old egg mess everywhere. And there's my egg yolk. Boop, dump it right there in my pan. And this I'll throw away unless somebody wants a meringue pie. And then I'll save the egg whites and whip it up for meringue pie. Alright, so to my pan. And let me see if I can put my camera right over here a little closer because I want y'all to see what I'm doing here. Oh, there's my pan right there. Y'all see my pan right there? Y'all see my pan right here? Here's my pan right here. Alright, and to my pan, I'm going to add this right here. It's 2 cups. This right here is 2% milk. You can use whole milk. You can use skim milk. Whatever you choose. 1% milk. You can even do evaporated milk. And with that, you would do a cup of evaporated milk and a cup of water. Get the dilution down in there. Usually, if I have it, but I used all my heavy whipping cream a while ago. But usually what I'll do is, I'll put 1 cup of milk, and then I'll put 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream. It's okay doing it like this, but when I add the 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, I have found it'll give it a richer flavor in cooking it in your chocolate. So, to that, we're going to add, and I hope my camera don't fall, and the cornstarch. To that, I'm going to add, this right here is a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. That's a 1/4 cup. Not a 1/4 cup. It's a 1/4 of a cup. Alright. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of white sugar. I'll get my sugar bucket right here. This is a 1 cup measuring cup. So there's 1. There's 2. 2 cups of white sugar. Alright, let me set this over here out the way. Alright. And to that, I'm going to add cocoa powder. I have used all different kinds of cocoa powder. Name brands, off brands, whatever. I've used it all, but we're going to add a 1/2 cup. I like this Hershey's. To me, it makes better. A richer chocolate or pie. But anyway, this is a 1/2 cup of cocoa. And that's 100%, that's Hershey cocoa right there. Y'all see that? That's cocoa. Ooh, ooh. To that, okay. And then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of regular table salt. Just a 1/4 teaspoon in there. A little 1/4 teaspoon. There you go. 1/4 teaspoon of table salt. And then we got our 3 egg yolks. We got our sugar. We got our milk. We got our salt. We got our cocoa, cornstarch, all that. So I'm going to put my stove on about 7. And what I'm going to do is, this is my whisk. I'm going to whisk this. And it's probably going to take about 20 minutes to get this all incorporated. Get the heat brought up on it, get it to boiling, and then it'll start thickening. And as soon as it does that, because I got to stand here and stir this, and as soon as it does that, then I'll be right back, okay? Hey everybody, I'm back. the chocolate pie mixture. I'm gonna turn my camera around real quick. Y'all see that? If you can see it through the, see how that is? Can y'all, I don't know if you can see it or not. The steam is getting all, but anyway, it is done. So, to that, I turn my fire off. Stirring, 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 stirring. And to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of this pure vanilla. The reason you add vanilla after it cooks is because if you're cooking like this chocolate pie or something hot and you put your vanilla in, well, what you're doing is you're cooking away your flavor. So that's the reason why a lot of recipes tell you to add it after you take it off the burner. Because if you add the vanilla, I got my spatula here. If you add the vanilla to it while it's cooking, because vanilla, the alcohol, it's going to cook right on away. And you're going to lose, like alcohol, you're going to lose, like when you add alcohol and stuff like that, you're going to lose your flavor in your vanilla. So that's the reason why. Now y'all look at that pot. Remember I told y'all a while ago, look at that. Ain't nothing. Look, these are the best pots, I'm telling you right now. Make a chocolate pie or peanut brittle or anything else. Let me run some water in my pot here. Lord have mercy. I'm going to turn my camera back around. And look at there. That, my little pie crust cracked right there a little bit, but look at that. That is my homemade chocolate pie. Now this is going to have to sit for several hours to cool off. Because if not, y'all, that's just like pudding. Because if it don't sit for several hours, naturally, if it don't sit for several hours before you put your whipped topping on top of it, it's going to melt it everywhere. And as it sits, it's going to firm up and cools down. This pie, it'll firm up and thicken up more as it cools down. And y'all, my recipe here, that's how old my recipe is. Look at that. I said, Lord, I need to write that down again on something else. That's my chocolate pie recipe. I ain't wrote it down on nothing. But I just wanted to show y'all how I make my chocolate pie. And so when a customer calls me and they tell me that they want a chocolate pie, that's why it takes several hours to do it, because the longest part of it is getting the pie to cool down. And right now it's so hot I can't pick it up off the counter, the pan. But as it cools, I'm going to let it sit here for about an hour and cool. And then as it cools, I'll be able to pick this pan up and put it in the refrigerator. Don't pick it up while it's hot like that when you first do it, because like I did one day, I dropped chocolate pie all on my floor because the pan was so hot. It went right through my pad, my little oven mitt. The heat, it was so hot. So, and chocolate pie was all in the floor. So, I'm going to let that sit there for about an hour, like I said. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let it finish cooling. And then I'll add my whipped topping. And then after this process, like I said, it takes a while. And then I'll show y'all what the finished product looks like. So, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright. Hey, everybody, I'm back. And the chocolate pie has done set now for a while and cooled down. And I put it in the refrigerator for a little bit. And then I've got my whipped topping. And, let me turn my camera on. Oh, there's the pie. But anyway, I dropped my spoon in it and I had to, trying to, anyway, get it all fixed back. But anyway, let me turn the camera back around so you can see what I'm doing here. This is the whipped topping that we made a while ago. I just took it out of the refrigerator and look at that. It's still thick. Like I said, this right here will keep. And I just put it, spread it right there like that. You know, and this is how I do my pies. I don't spread it all the way out in the edge. I want you to see you getting a chocolate pie. Or a banana cream pie. A banana pudding pie. whatever it may be. I want you to see what you're getting. And there, see? Whip that in there like that. And see, I still have plenty left for another pie if I wanted to. Right here in my cup. I still have plenty left in this cup right here. But anyway, let me get my chocolate bar. I have y'all see me? I got a chocolate bar right here. Hershey's chocolate bar. Piece of chocolate bar. Uh-oh. And I've got this. You can use this as a zester or whatever you want to use it for. But I use it for this. Can y'all see that? Hershey chocolate. Hershey chocolate. Now all I'm going to do is we're going to make this pie a little pretty. We're going to put some little pretties on it like that. And we're just going to zest some of this chocolate bar across the top of it. Make it a little pretty. See that? And then tap your zester to get all that rest of that chocolate off of it. And then I'll put that back in here. I told Hammer earlier I was going to try to have my chocolate pie made for tonight. But anyway, so I'm going to turn the camera back around. Now, do y'all see that? That's my homemade chocolate pies. And then what I'll do is, let me get my box, y'all. Hold on just a minute. I have these pie boxes right here. And then I'll put your homemade chocolate pie in one of these pie boxes right here. And then I'll text you or I'll call you to let you know that your pie is ready. So I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator because after I make them, I like to leave them sitting in the refrigerator. And I'm going to set that right back there on top of that right there in the refrigerator. And that's my homemade chocolate pie. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all got some knowledge from it. And I appreciate y'all. If you want me to make you a chocolate pie, just call, text, or message me. 662-209-5250. Like I said, give me a little bit of heads up on when you want it. Because it does take a little while, not to make it, but for it to cool down. And one important thing, I forgot to tell you about my crust. My hands, I have arthritis real bad in my hands. And so today was one of those bad days because we got a lot of rain coming in. And so I didn't get a rollout crust. But I'm going to do a video one day of a homemade rollout crust. But my hands ain't so bad. But that crust right there was a frozen pie crust. I just took it out. Let me show you. Matter of fact, I'll show you right here. That was a frozen pie. This is the other one. There was two of them in this pack. But I just took it out of this pack. I let it sit out on my counter for probably, about 5 to 10 minutes while my oven was getting hot. And take you a fork and prick holes all in the bottom of it. Because if you don't prick the holes, the air's going to get up underneath there and your pie crust is going to poof straight up. So take you a fork after it sits out for just a little while and prick you some little holes in the bottom of that pie crust, and that'll keep it from puffing up. Even when a homemade pie, a crust, because you can buy those little pie tins now for $1 or something for a couple of them, and then just roll out your crust, put it in one of them little pie tins, boom, good to go. Bake it for a few minutes. I bake mine on 400 degrees for about 10-15 minutes. Some people like their crust darker. Some people don't like their crust dark, so I kind of do mine kind of on my customers, what they do or do not like. But I just hope you got some information out of this video. I appreciate you. I love you. And let's help look after each other and let's take care of each other once again. God bless. Stay safe.